Hi, cohort mentors. It's Danielle again. And this video is to talk about what are COMMs. So, COMMs are cohort monthly modules. So, this is something you're going to see and probably hear about as we talk about the cohort mentorship program. And these are essentially the monthly themes for the cohort mentorship program. So you may have heard me say that the cohort program is a structured program. So that means that we have built essentially themes each month and conversations that are already geared for you to take place. So essentially the work is already there, so to speak. And it's up to you to kind of facilitate those conversations with your mentees. And in the general channel, under files, you'll see that, and you'll be going to this particular folder a lot because this is where all the comms are located. And comms serve as essentially meeting agendas. And uh, and if you click on the cohort monthly modules, you're going to see they're divided by those 4 months. So February, March, April, and May. Or in the fall term, right, it would be September, October, November, December. So within each month, each comm is already built for you, and they're all located under the For Mentors folder. So you can see this is COMM 1 first meeting, meaning this is the first cohort monthly module 1, and the first cohort monthly module theme is informal goal setting. And each theme covers each covers a month. So there's 4 themes that are addressed across the cohort program. The first meeting is a little bit different than all the others because it's the first meeting. But so I'm going to go ahead and just open up the first comm for the second meeting. So this would be the first month and your second meeting. And this is what they generally look like, all very similar. They're made up of 4 steps. And that's why I say these work as meeting agendas. So these are something that you should probably look at beforehand, and or have up and available on your screen to look at during meetings, during those mentoring sessions. So it tells you, right, every session has a specific warm-up, and I give the time limit. And this is based on the 60-minute session, in terms of how the 60-minute cohort mentoring session is broken down, which is defined in the Defining the Cohort Mentorship Program document, which is also in the general channel files, right? So each one of these is provides you information about the warm-up that the mentee has prepared. It also gives you information about the discussion that the mentee has also thought about and prepared. And right, so this one asks you, or says, all right, Phil, this is a type of discussion you should facilitate based on the particular theme of that particular cohort monthly module, right? And like I said, the first month is informal goal setting. So there's the warm up and the discussion, right? And obviously the discussion is the major part of the mentoring session, right? Because that's where the major mentoring topic and conversations about it take place. There's wrap up. This is where you go over what your cohort discussed. I recommend identifying, this is a best practice, 2 to 3 major takeaways from that meeting for your mentees. going over the next meeting's warm-up and the next meeting's discussion, and these can be found on the worksheets, which I'll talk about in another one of these tutorial videos. So you can look at the worksheet for the next meeting and just briefly say, hey, this is the next warm-up, and in the next meeting, this is what we're going to be discussing. And also, if needed, you can work on scheduling the next meeting, or if you want to do that separately, you can. You also want to, after the meeting, directly go into post-meeting work, just so it's off the table. This is a best practice in writing centers, in tutoring, and learning centers, and academic success centers. So we're also implementing that into Compass, into the Cohort Mentorship program. So anytime I have something highlighted and I only have this twice, that just means that there's an additional document. There's something just slightly different. So this isn't normal. This, like I said, it's only twice. It's in here and then in the fourth month. But again, directly after that mentoring session, you want to email your mentees the worksheet for the next meeting. It's located in the team site. I'll go over that in another tutorial. To go back to that idea of the hard date, giving them a hard date for when they want to have that sent back to you. You want to update your Teams doc, and I'll show you where those are in a different video. Update the program status spreadsheet. This is very similar to the Excel spreadsheet that you have been updating in SharePoint, but there's going to be a specific one for the Cohort Mentorship program that will exist in the Teams site. It does not yet exist. It will. And then if there are any issues, you can, this is the time to notify myself or JR. You can email us, or you can go to your Cadre channel and you can make a post. If you feel like it's not private or personal enough, you can just make a post. We'll get a notification and we can respond. So those are the Cohort monthly modules. So just to reiterate, these work as meeting agendas. They've already been built for you. So you just want to kind of look at these before your session, just to kind of get yourself into gear in terms of preparing, and then maybe make some notes or whatever works for you. And then this is here to kind of help guide you through this particular mentoring session. In this case, it would be month 1, meeting 2. And then that's its purpose, right? It's just to help you go through the process. And at the same time, it also works as a checklist. So, right, it's meeting agenda and also checklist kind of in one. So that's why I recommend having it open, having it available, accessible to you during the session, before the session, and then after the session, just to make sure, okay, did I email my mentees? Did I just update my Teams doc and the spreadsheet? Are there any issues that I need to email anybody about? No? Okay, great, I'm done. And post-meeting work shouldn't take very long, but that's it. That is a brief introduction and hopefully helpful tutorial and explanation on what Cohort monthly modules or COMMs are and where you can find them in the Teams site.